He said a case, if a person is praying in Jama'ah and he went for rukua and he wants to make Subhana Rabbiyal Azim wa bihamdi, etc. But before he finished, the Imam got up and then he went for sujood. So he said, shall I continue making my ad'iyah or supplications for ruku', or shall I join the Imam? Number one, the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا جُعِلَ الْإِمَامُ لِيُؤْتَمَّ بِهِ. Imam is appointed to be followed. فَإِذَا كَبَّرَ فَكَبِّرُوا. If the Imam makes takbir, follow him making takbir. وَإِذَا رَكَعَ فَارْكَعُوا. And when he bows down, you follow him bowing down. Same with sujood and so on. And he warned against going ahead of the Imam. Allah may convert or transform the head of a person who raises his head before the Imam into a donkey. And similarly, one should not prolong his recitation to the extent that the Imam goes for ruku' and he is still reciting. The Imam rises up from ruku' and he is still reciting. One have to adjust himself to the Imam. So if the Imam is reasonable and recited Surah Al-Fatiha in a verse or two, that should be sufficient for you. But if the Imam was very fast to the extent that you could not even recite Surah Al-Fatiha reasonably, and this is his habit, then you withdraw from this Jama'ah and you pray on your own, because such prayer is invalid. If the Imam, you bow down with him, and you were about, just after he made ruku'ah, you said Allahu Akbar and you followed him, and you were about to say Subhana Rabbiyal Azim, and you could not even get it once, because the wajib is to say it at least once. Then he rose up, then he said Sami'a Allahu liman hamida, then he went for sujood. This is a sign that this is the prayer of a rooster picking the seeds or the grains, and such prayer is invalid. But if the Imam is praying reasonably and you would like to take your time, I advise you not to do that. Rather, you should follow the Imam. There is another fiqh rule, which is if you miss 2 rukns after the Imam, the prayer becomes invalid. So if the Imam rises up from ruku' and he goes for sujood and he is still making your recitation, then your prayer is invalid. But if it is only 1 rukn at a time and you join him, you catch up, the prayer is still valid. My advice is adjust your recitation and your tasbih along with the rhythm or the prayer of the Imam.